The Pacific Ocean harbors many mysterious disappearances, but the most famous case is the disappearance of Amelia Earhart's plane. The wreckage of her aircraft has never been found, but it is assumed that she crashed in the Pacific Ocean due to lack of fuel. Another mysterious disappearance involves Italian physicist Carlo Giuseppe Bertero, who vanished without a trace during a sea voyage from Tahiti to Chile. Also disappeared are pilots Mildred Doran and William Portwood Irwin, who disappeared 2 days apart during the famous Dole Air Race. Other famous people who disappeared in the Pacific include Charles Ohm, Richard Halliburton, Paul Mooney, Theodore Cara, and Jerry Ruffs. The Pacific Ocean is also home to the infamous Devil Sea, an area off the coast of Japan where ships and aircraft have mysteriously disappeared. Scientists speculate that the disappearances may be related to underwater volcanoes, methane hydrate emissions, turbulence due to the collision of hot and cold currents, and seismic activity. However, many cases remain unexplained, continuing to fuel mystical theories about a mysterious zone in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the deepest and warmest ocean in terms of its surface layer. The Pacific Ocean has the largest number of islands. It is home to the highest wind waves and the most destructive tropical hurricanes. The Pacific Ocean lies in all hemispheres. The Morning Midas, which burned for 3 weeks in the Pacific Ocean, sank. The Morning Midas, a car and truck carrier, sank in international waters in the northern Pacific Ocean, 24 June 2025. The last voyage of the Yamato. On the morning of April 6, 1945, a formation consisting of the Yamato, 1 light cruiser, and 8 destroyers set sail to take part in Operation Tenichigo Heaven 1. The task assigned to the formation was to attack and destroy enemy ships and supply vessels. In case of difficulties returning to base, the Yamato was instructed to run aground off the coast of Okinawa and support Army units with artillery fire. It was also assumed that this raid would distract the enemy's carrier-based aircraft and facilitate the massive kamikaze attacks planned for April 7th on the American fleet's landing craft off the coast of Okinawa. The plan was suicidal from the outset. The Japanese formation was spotted by the enemy early in the morning on April 7th. Starting at noon, the Yamato and its escort came under heavy attack from American carrier-based aircraft, 227 planes in total. The pilots of the American torpedo bombers were ordered to attack the Yamato from one side only. 2 hours later, the battleship was disabled after being hit by 10 standard aircraft torpedoes, each containing 272 kilograms of Torpex, equivalent to 410 kilograms of TNT and 13 aerial bombs. At 14:23 local time, due to the displacement of 460 mm shells from the roll, an explosion occurred in the bow artillery magazine of the main caliber, after which the Yamato sank. On May 25, 2002, Boeing 747-209B, registration number 18255, took off from Chiang Kai-shek Airport at 15:08, NST 7:08 Universal Time Coordinated, and headed for Hong Kong. At 15:33, when Flight CI-611 reached flight level FL-350, 10,600 meters, its tail section suddenly broke off, after which the airliner went into a dive, broke into several pieces, and crashed into the Taiwan Strait 45 kilometers from Penghu Island. The disaster unfolded instantly, leaving the pilots no time to contact air traffic controllers. The disappearance of the Mark M130 over the Pacific Ocean was an aviation accident that occurred on Friday, 29 July 1938, when a Pan American Airways Martin M130 passenger flying boat disappeared over the Pacific Ocean with 15 people on board. The first loss in the history of the Martin M130 aircraft. The DC-6 crash in the Pacific Ocean was a major aviation disaster that occurred on Sunday, July 12, 1953, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. A Douglas DC-6A aircraft belonging to Transocean Airlines was operating a passenger flight from Wake to Hawaii when, after approximately less than 2 hours of flight, it crashed into the water, killing 58 people. Flight N90806 was operating passenger flight. TOA 512 on the route. Agana Wake Honolulu Auckland, and 49 passengers, including one infant, boarded the aircraft in Agana. At 0:04, the airliner took off from Guam and landed safely at Wake after 5 hours and 35 minutes. None of the passengers disembarked at Wake, but one additional passenger boarded. The crew received information from the Weather Bureau about the weather conditions along the route, after which it submitted a flight plan to Honolulu on a flight planned at an altitude of 15,000 feet for 1,600 m with an airspeed of 236 miles, 380 km per hour, and an estimated flight duration of 9 hours 3 minutes with a fuel reserve of 11 hours 15 minutes. A total of 2,503 barrels of 100/300 gasoline, total fuel supply 4,069 gallons, and 32 gallons of oil were added on board at Wake. The total gross takeoff weight was 94,397 pounds, 42,818 kg, with a maximum allowable weight of 100,000 pounds, 45,000 kilograms. The center of gravity was also within the specified limits at 6:58, with 50 passengers and 8 crew members on board. The Douglas took off from Wake 7 minutes after takeoff. The crew received clearance to leave the airport area, and at 7:29, the aircraft reported that it was 100 miles, 160 kilometers, east of Wake, and that the set altitude had been reached 2 minutes earlier. An hour later, at 8:29, Flight 512 reported passing 0.19 degrees 48 minutes north, 171 degrees 48 minutes east, at an altitude of 15,000 feet between cloud layers. This was the last radio communication with N90806. Several times, communication centers in Wake and Honolulu heard indistinct transmissions on the 500 kilohertz frequency, which at that time was allocated for international distress signals. But it was later determined that these transmissions were false. Do you know what the biggest problem in the Pacific Ocean is? The Pacific Ocean is considered the most dangerous for shipping for several reasons. Increased storm activity. Lenta.ru. Calm weather is observed only in the equatorial zone, while other latitudes are characterized by powerful hurricanes and storms, typhoons. The deepest point on Earth is located in the Pacific Ocean. It is not only the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean, but also the deepest point on Earth. Here lies the Challenger Deep, one of the least explored places on Earth, with a depth of 11,000 meters. This is higher than the height of Mount Everest. The Pacific Ocean was named Pacific because in the 16th century, navigator Ferdinand Magellan made a months-long voyage across its waters from Tierra del Fuego to the Philippine Islands, without encountering a single storm and experiencing calm currents, which gave it its name, despite the fact that in reality the Pacific Ocean is known for its storm activity and typhoons. History of the name: Magellan's discovery. When Ferdinand Magellan set sail into the open ocean in 1520, his expedition encountered severe storms at the southern tip of South America. Calm sailing, after passing through the strait, later named the Strait of Magellan. Magellan's ships entered waters where no storms were detected. Calm currents during his entire stay in this ocean, which lasted almost 4 months. The navigator did not encounter any severe storms. Name: in honor of the calmness of these waters, Magellan named the ocean Pacific. Nature of the ocean: inconsistency. Despite its name, the Pacific Ocean is considered one of the most violent on Earth, especially in the equatorial zones. Storms and typhoons. The north and south of the ocean are often hit by powerful hurricanes, known as typhoons, and severe storms, making it one of the most dangerous for shipping. The Pacific Ocean was named Pacific because in the 16th century, navigator Ferdinand Magellan made a months-long voyage across its waters from Tierra del Fuego to the Philippine Islands, without encountering a single storm and experiencing calm currents, which gave it its name, despite the fact that in reality the Pacific Ocean is known for its storm activity and typhoons. History of the name: Magellan's discovery. when Ferdinand Magellan set sail into the open ocean in 1520. His expedition encountered severe storms. At the southern tip of South America, calm sailing. After passing through the strait later named after Magellan, Magellan's ships entered waters where no storms were detected. Calm currents during his entire stay in this ocean, which lasted almost 4 months. The navigator did not encounter any severe storms. Name: in honor of the calmness of these waters, Magellan named the ocean Pacific. Nature of the ocean: inconsistency. Despite its name, the Pacific Ocean is considered one of the most turbulent on Earth, especially in the